I skip myself today. You got a fast song, I wanna skip it anyway. Might as well skip. Might as well skip. Go on and skip. Might as well skip.
All right, welcome to the Skippables podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Gio Tripatazzi. This is the show where we listen to the world's best bands, find their worst songs. Back with my co-host, Josh Lopez. What's up, Josh?
Rev it up. Woo! What's up, guys?
That's right, dude.
What's up? Welcome back.
Welcome back. I have some devastating news for the listeners.
Oh my God, Gio.
This is rough. Leon's on an airplane. He's in international air right now.
Yeah.
Breathing international air in Mexico. I think he's in Guadalajara. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's breathing international air in Mexico.
In Mexico. Yeah. He brought American air to Mexico. He's refusing to breathe Mexican air. It's very racist.
Arrest him, dude, for bringing
That's
that
what's
American
devastating,
air down there.
is I didn't realize that he could be racist against his own people. So the professional's not here this week. He did not go through the gauntlet that we did. And I think for the better, because it seems that the vibe here is a pretty positive one. I think, Leon is a big history head. He loves catastrophes, and he would have Titanic sank this ship of positivity.
Yeah.
The special guests that we brought in today, they, on the other hand, seem to have brought a positivity that we're not used to in the garage that we record in. So we want to welcome to the podcast Don and Sam of Monogamy. Not international, but you can say interstational. Interstational. From Chicago, Illinois. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Yes, thank you.
How's it going, dude? How was the trip? How are you?
It's been good.
Yeah.
We flew here. We've been I don't think we've really spent this much time in California. Oh, Sam's.
This is the first time in California, first time in LA area.
Ever?
What do you think about the California air?
I like it, actually. I went to the beach and it was wonderful. I swam in the water.
It feels honestly like you guys have brought the Chicago air, a peek behind the curtain. Here at Skippables HQ, it seems like the Monogamy guys demanded a vibe check, and we've gone very homely in here. We're very cozy, with some lamps. Yeah. And it's very ambient right now in Skippables HQ.
Yeah.
So
is Chicago normally this ambient?
I feel like, right? Chicago is deep dish, deep vibes,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And deep dish nights, right? That's what usually. Dude, okay, so you're on tour. You're a band.
We're
right?
a band.
You're a band. Not skippable, by the way. Okay, everybody? Check out Monogamy.
We're a band. It's us and our friend Adriana. And we told Adriana, we're going to be on the podcast and listen to Linkin Park, and she was like, "That sounds so fun for you guys."
Oh, she
I was like, "That sounds great."
I'm gonna not
she didn't
be
want
there.
to.
She's like, "I can't wait to listen to it, guys."
Not for her.
Too great.
Okay, well,
I mean, but you mentioned that she's originally from here, so she's catching up and stuff, and she was like, "I'm not gonna spend this precious time talking about Linkin Park."
Yeah,
true.
In this
stranger's garage
location.
Yes. Yeah, true.
I don't blame her.
Respect on that.
In some respect.
But we listened through Meteora with her today.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we are, and we have, and we will be discussing Linkin Park. This is huge for us. This is a milestone. I've been waiting for this moment since we started the show, for a lot of reasons. But why Linkin Park? And first, I guess, out of you two, who chose Linkin Park, Don or Sam?
We've established quorum, so I feel like there are suggestions, and I checked in with Sam, and we sort of came to a consensus together. There's a lot of harmony here,
That's so cool. Okay,
I can feel that.
democracy.
Democracy.
Democracy chose
Yeah, I think part of it was we thought they were from Chicago too, but then we looked it up and they weren't.
They weren't.
But the name's a Chicago neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Is one of them from there? I know they originated from LA, but I'm not sure where all of the members were born.
Chester's from Phoenix. They literally like flew him in to join Linkin Park.
What?
Because like Mike and the rest of them like could not get signed. We're like sending out so many demos, meeting with executives, and like could not get signed. Chester's in this like grunge band that like he sort of like stormed out of essentially, and then he was at like what is the like college radio sort of like convention in like Texas, CMJ or whatever.
Okay.
He was at that, and some agent like went up to him and was like, hey, like, I know this band, they really need a vocalist. And so they flew him out to like join he was just like sending them demos and just like riffing over it. And like the guys talk about like when Chester sent his first demos, like we got chills, like we knew. And it's night and day. Like once they start playing with Chester and sending demos out, the labels are like, yes,
I mean,
this is our guy.
Like Linkin Park is, especially doing this podcast, a powerhouse band. Like everybody individually is like a great musician, but like there's no beating around the fact that Chester's the star.
Yeah, totally.
He's the star.
Chester was like 24 and the rest of them were like 18 and 19.
Oh, really?
That's
He's
the
old?
thing. He was
Wow.
older than the rest of them because he's like, yeah, it was kind of crazy just like playing with these like kids basically.
Right. And they're like all hip hop and shit, dude. And he's like
He's
all
just showing them how to
grungy
do it.
from Tucson.
That's really, really cool. And I think for me, my level of exposure was definitely like growing up. You know, this came out when I was, grade school, but I was always into more rock and like, not necessarily punk yet, but like rock and not so much hip hop. But there was this, era where like Gorillaz and, Linkin Park kind of bridged the gap for me. So in many ways, I feel like in my later years, when I really dove into hip hop, I was like originally pulling from stuff I liked from Linkin Park, So I grew up, we had Hybrid Theory and Meteora growing up. So I got heavy nostalgia for those two, and then I dropped off. And maybe for the better, maybe for the worse, who knows? We'll get into it,
Right.
but that's my level of exposure.
Okay. So what about you, Sam? What about you? Where was your start with Linkin Park?
My parents had the Live in Texas CD and would play it in the car pretty often.
So your parents showed you Linkin
Yeah,
Park.
they introduced me. I think my dad liked it specifically. It was one of the radio songs, I'm sure.
Okay.
But he liked Korn and stuff like that too. So,
Whoa.
like, yeah,
Well,
Chester's
metal dad.
like
yeah, new metal background.
to
Yeah.
know that he was like 24 in like 2005, 2004. It's like, okay, he's like our parents-ish
Yeah.
age, So he was really into Stone Temple Pilots, and he was super close friends with Chris Cornell. So I don't know. He pulls a lot from that. It makes a lot of sense that dads like this band.
Yeah. His voice is like unbelievable in the first couple records. Like the way he
Yeah.
screams is just like it's so good.
Yeah.
In his old band, none of his other music, he didn't scream. He screamed for Mike and the Boys.
Really?
He found it in himself. But his other music, it was not. So he just came out screaming, killing it, reinventing screaming.
Wow. Well,
And yeah, it's just so good.
you can hear that in his voice, actually. I guess now, like, he does a lot of ambitious notes up in there,
Yeah.
He's really controlling his diaphragm.
He's so good.
Yeah.
When he can hit it, it's like there are certain songs where like they just let him fucking flex, and it feels good. Like it's really gratifying. My start was my cousin. Shout out Anthony. Big fan.
Tony.
Yeah, big fan. I was like tangentially a fan. Obviously, the big hits on the radio, couldn't get away from those. But I couldn't say that it was my thing. I will say that like this was probably like the number one band recommended to me by people that didn't know me at all. And they were like, "Oh, like you like rock? Like, shit, this guy must love Linkin Park." And then they'd like play like a Linkin Park song. I'd have to be like, "Okay, yeah, I like rock, sure." They're not wrong.
Were you like called like a rocker fool? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
you're a
was.
rocker fool.
You're a
Okay,
rocker
so,
kid. Now they wouldn't call me a fool because like they didn't give me that kind of respect.
Oh shit.
You're a rocker kid. You're a rocker guy. That kind of shit. And I mean, yeah, it was good, but I can't say that I like was drawn to it as a kid. Definitely
Wow.
not.
No, you never had any CDs, nothing
No,
like that.
No. I at that point, I think like I was probably in like early middle school, if not like late elementary. I was like just so deeply into the Beatles at that point that like I was not like shut up in a song. I was like, dude,
That's so rude.
That's
Hey,
not love
paperback
music.
writer for
Yeah.
me, more Norwegian wood, please. I'd rather commit arson.
Then tell you to shut up.
Yeah, tell my dad to shut up. Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely like a band that like hits you as a kid. Like this is a kid band.
So
Yes.
you never had any younger Geo listening to Linkin Park years. This was your first venture down here.
Like the actual full albums, yes, 100%.
Even Hybrid Theory.
Singles,
This is for
yes.
some reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering wrong, but
we've never bonded over.
I was like, remember
Never-
that time,
Dude,
No.
we cried about it before, bro. No. I mean, as a kid, I'm sure I listened, like, with my cousin, because, like I said, he was, like, a big fan. But, like, it was, like, Dragon Ball Z and Linkin Park were, like, two things that, like, he was into and I wasn't into. And it was just for the same reasons, like, I never had the entry point for it. Like, I could never, like, just walk up and be like, show me some good Linkin Park. Like, all I knew was, like, the hits. And, like, the hits were enough for me to know that that wasn't what I wanted.
Oh, okay, so you're hearing In the End and being like, this is as far as I want to go.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was fine. But, like, did I want to listen to the album? No. Not me.
Well, damn, I think.
But it sounds like you guys did.
That's what I was saying. We're kind of numbering.
A little bit.
Am I the Leon?
Well, like, I originally like ripped on Linkin Park when I was in elementary school, so this was very cathartic because I'd like my friend that I would hang out with at gym class, Lyrian, was like his family like immigrated from like the Czech Republic, which is apparently a thing. There's a very big like Czech Linkin Park contingent, but he was like all he wanted to talk about was Linkin Park. I would roast him because I'd be like, this was when there was only like Hybrid Theory and Reanimation, so I was like, they only have 2 CDs and they're all the same songs. Like I was roasting him. That was like my old, like I still think of him. I still see him in my head when I like listen to Linkin Park. Like I felt like I fallen out of touch with him, but like I know he's okay because I was listening to Linkin Park.
He's your touchstone.
And then there's a moment where like I had a very big like LimeWire type family.
Pirates,
like tons of burnt CDs in the car, like not paying for any music.
I miss that internet.
Yeah,
I
now
really
it's
miss
so
that
cool.
internet.
What's the statute of limitations on that?
But like my dad was like, I want you to be like hip. Like I want you to know what the kids are listening to when I was like 8 or something, and he was like, listen to this. This is the official song of the X Games. This is like your generation. And he played like Faint.
What were you listening to?
It was so lame.
Whale
Yeah.
songs?
I don't
Like,
know.
what were you listening
I was
to?
on it. Like
He was like, "No, you're a kid. Stop
Yeah.
listening to
Yeah.
music concrete."
yeah. He was like, I hope you never produce dub techno.
Yeah, that's enough Wendy Carlos, kid. You gotta get hip. Oh my god. Okay, so like both of your parents seem to have like been cool enough to show you new music. Not, I don't think on our side. Did your parents listen to it?
They let us listen to kind of whatever we wanted. It was just kind of like, wow, like my parents weren't too into it, but they didn't mind us listening to it.
Okay.
And for me, it was like I was just like so young, I didn't pick anything playing, and it was like when it was before I was like 8. I was young,
Yeah.
So like it was just what they would play in the car, and that'd be like the song. I'd be like, I like that one,
Right.
you know.
Well, and part
Play
of
the
the
Linkin Park.
part of the whole marketing thing is first 2 records, Linkin Park didn't swear. No swears.
Oh, that's right.
No
They made a
parental
whole point.
advisory
Yeah, they made
sticker.
a whole point.
So like that, because
That was
that's why
probably
they
a thing.
swear so much later on, because they would get ragged on because they were like, you don't swear, like this is like cleaned up new metal, like, so it makes sense that parents were like, yeah, here's some Linkin Park because it's like this is the kid friendly band.
Wow, I didn't even think about it from that.
It's
Because
so
it's so
insidious.
dark. Like,
Shut
you
up
don't
is a
need
swear.
Chicuz to be so, like, I don't know.
I'm gonna fact check. Shut up is a swear. Okay.
Yeah, pull up Webster's real quick. Oh, yep, you're right there.
It says a swear.
It's right next to butt.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, are you guys gonna beep it for the episode,
I
right?
might have to. You said it enough times.
We can't get onto Apple
Yeah.
Pods if we say shut up too much, dude.
It's such a fun like kid band because like you are so aggressive and like full of like these emotions that you don't know how to express yet, and so like Chester screaming is like like a conduit for that. Like you're kind of like you're in the shower and you're doing like your own version. And you let out a little bit of some emotions, like and it's good for everybody, But I don't know if it was so like good for them in the long run, because they change after a while, and it's like I don't know. At like from their first album to the last album, like can you even say they're the same band?
Yeah, no, you could not. I was playing it, and my girlfriend even was like, "Is this Linkin Park? Is this really them?" It's like, I swear, like, because Chester, is not so much screaming anymore, which I can't blame him for. He's older, But yeah, they really did like a nosedive. I'll go on record. I'll go on mic saying a nosedive.
Nosedive. Well, like I remember my jumping off point as a kid. Even I was like, when they played like Bleed It Out on like I want to say Saturday Night Live or something. Like I remember like watching with my family, and we were all collectively like Linkin Park fell off. Like I remember like it was a vibe check. Like we were all over it, and I don't remember listening to Linkin Park past that.
Did you just
outside
like
of
turn the
Transformers
TV off?
movies.
I was gonna say, yeah. If it was Dark of the Moon or like Night of the Sun or the fuck they called it, but that song, for sure, What I've Done. That one, yeah, that's a hit. I'll give it to them. That they made a decent couple songs, and I don't know, like having to listen to this whole thing again, or for the first time for me, was like interesting, just in the sense that like. You think that like a band state, like I thought that they were just like Linkin Park throughout, and like, I remember like for a while they were like, oh, we went electro or something because like that was big and stuff, but like I just kind of in my head was like just Chester doing his screamy thing and like them doing some synthesizer stuff, but like to see where they went is just like confusing, but also like just telling of that era. And like I was gonna say, Josh, like the last album of No Doubt, Push and Pull.
Oh yeah,
is like exactly like the last album that Linkin Park did, where it's just like they just went full electro, all pop songs, like every like modern technology, like dumb producer tag they could do, they did, and it's like soulless, but like I'm sure it got played a lot,
Well, what's funny to me is like that's like 2017 where like emo rap goes mainstream, and to me when I think of that, I'm like, if they at any point had just fully changed course and been like, we're doing the old sound, especially at that point when you have like Extentacion, like all that happening, people could have jumped so hard back into Linkin Park. It could have been a big victory lap, but
it's genius.
Instead,
Don, that's genius. Go back in time. Tell Shinoda, dude, wake up, bro. Slap him a couple times. You gotta fucking start.
Shinoda tried his best.
He's doing good now.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Making a lot of NFTs.
He's like live streaming his jams and stuff on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's pretty cool for like an artist.
He does,
like chilling,
he does NFT songs where he sells individual seconds of the song,
No.
and so
Oh my
fans
God.
can't
No.
hear the song until people buy every second individually.
That's
That's
groundbreaking,
sick.
though.
That's
It's like,
sick.
It's like-
it's like performing.
And it's gonna get fucking bought within like what, an hour or two.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like just I want to make my upfront. I want to pay my bills off of every song. I can respect that. Every single song.
You have a second. You own a
Every-
second of my
every
song.
return, I want to be. Oh, that's a car payment.
Yeah.
You know, every time I make something. Oh,
Wait,
okay, mortgage.
Can you imagine like the collector of that? He's like he has like 10 of his like 1 second songs. He just has like a CD of that,
He's like, I paid for Mr. Han's kids Montessori school.
Yeah. Yeah, his speech impediment is gone because of me.
Mike Shinoda, still with his goatee. But I totally think you're right, Don. Like, if they just totally did a throwback album right now, like, hey, we're going to go back to basics, it would kill. It would do so much numbers. And you know what, Gio, we were talking in a secret disclosed private chat earlier today about a Skippables alumni doing something similar. Red Hot Chili Peppers is doing a Return to the Dream Canteen, which is a total throwback to 90s Red Hot Chili Peppers. But I think it's going to have the reverse effect. Or at least on me. I was like, I would kill for
We're gonna
new
hate
Linkin Park.
but the fans are going to love it.
Please stop Kiedis.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
hashtag stop Kiedis.
I think it's because they never really left. You know, the Peppers have just been like a fucking mole on the face of like pop culture for the last 30 years, and it's time, you know, like we're all sick of them, but their fans are diehard freaks.
And that's common ground with Linkin Park. The Linkin Park fans will lap up anything. The only thing that they reacted negatively to was like the last album, but like now they're all like, it's kind of the best one.
What?
They have like rose-colored glasses for it, like obviously because
What
There's
happened?
a lot of sad stuff.
There's
in
a lot of
those-
sad
in
stuff.
those lyrics,
Trigger warning.
Straight up trigger warning.
Let's start. Let's just, before we get any further, before we get into the awards or anything, we have to address the fact that Chester Bennington did end his own life, and it happened in a very dramatic fashion. It was a surprise for everybody. It was just like a cultural like moment where everyone was like, what the fuck, like he seemed so happy, you know, like it was a very big check for like, you know, the fact that like people can suffer silently. And if you look at his music, if you look at all of his lyrics, it's kind of very easy to see he was kind of writing all of his feelings down, and you know, like he was being serious the whole time, you know, like the art is like an expression of what he was going through.
And dude, there's like early 2000s fucking like it wasn't VH1, it's like VH1 Fuse, and what are those other channels from like 2003 or something like that? One of those channels, like music review channels, would like totally roast them back in the day. I gotta pull up the source.
no.
Yeah, of being like all these whiny fucking kids and all this stuff. It's like, and me as a kid, like feeling all that stuff, you know, in real time with, and really relating to his music, being just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But you know,
You know,
get it. But I don't know. It's like you're saying. It's really evident of fame, money. None of that matters, you know. Especially with like, you know, the trauma that Chester, you know, lived with.
Yes.
You know. So
Yeah, it's like it's very difficult to cover this without mentioning it. We don't want to make this like indictment on him or any of his like what he was going through, or like this isn't about that at all. Like we're kind of just talking about the music side of it, but we have to address it. Of course, you know, all love to him, all love to his family, everybody that loved him. You know, I was a real person, so you know, like take it easy on all the criticisms. Because, yeah, like, this guy had really went through all these emotions. It's really, like... And I think going through it this time, since he's passed, and since, like, I really, like, had to go through it all, it's kind of, like... It's interesting to think, like, okay, like, you're seeing everything in a timeline from, like, when he was 20-something to, like, when he was, like, 40-something, you know? Like, we have this window of time into his life, and seeing, like, the fame get to, like, where he got, and then... to end where it ended, and it's like, not that you appreciate anything about that, but like more just kind of like, you know, there's a full record of like of what he was going through, and it's very helpful for people that are going through that right now.
Yes, and he really didn't want other people to go through it, and like took action. There's like, and that's the thing where it's like we are talking. It's so serious, but there's also like the inherent cheesiness of like Linkin Park that like saturates it, which like makes it its own thing. But there's like a cafe in Chicago, like literally like 3 blocks from my place. Wait, I'm kind of doxing myself, but if you're in a three block radius, find me.
Yeah.
It's called Sip of Hope, and like the concept is that's like a cafe that's like aware of mental health, and the baristas are like trained in like counseling people. So like what I've like actually known people who have been like, yeah, like my friend was in crisis, like went to this cafe and like talked to a barista, and they have like a wall of like people who made it possible. And one of the biggest names is Chester Bennington, which is like, again, it's like the dude's estate is, you know, part of it. Like, he was really vocal. He talked about like even writing, like he wrote a lot from his own pain, but he also was very transparent about like writing things that weren't really his experience, because he knew that there are other people going through that type of thing, and he wanted everyone to be able to hear themselves in his lyrics. Like, that's tight.
Yeah,
that's a good guy. That's a good guy.
Yeah, good guy, troubled guy, but you know, at the end of the day, like a real artist.
Yeah.
You know, like a true blue, like talented, like super fucking talented guy. So, yeah, let's get into the games.
Yeah, that being said, let's get up.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
time to laugh.
yeah, let's have a little fun.
All right. Number one. I see you peeking, Gio.
Oh my god, dude.
You
Whoops.
can't get a win in, guys. Please let me know the tally in the comments. Number one. What song off of Hybrid Theory did Chester Bennington initially not want to be included on the album? A. One Step Closer. B. Crawling. Or C. In the End.
I'm gonna go Crawling. It just seems like an infantile, you know. Crawling is not walking.
It's like we can't do it. It's running. Let's
Let's call
record.
flying or something, dude.
What were the three again?
One Step Closer, Crawling, and In the End.
I think it's One Step Closer.
One step closer, in my
Guys,
opinion.
It was In the End. In an interview with V Music, he said, "I didn't even want it on the album, honestly. But how wrong could I have been? I basically decided at that point, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about."
That's pretty standard for like a musician.
Especially like, again, Linkin Park is, you know, Chester's a star, but like it's also all of them, you know, like they're getting together and just like making huge electronic like masterpieces, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, it's like when you're out recording your music and you're like too close to it, you can be like, that song sucks, just because you've heard it like maybe one too many times. And like you don't realize, like, for fresh ears, like it's gonna sound great. But like you're like, that's a trash song. I don't like it anymore, you know?
Well, like, that was something that interested me, because I was like listening to Hybrid Theory and Meteor. There's no way I can really listen to like with clean ears. So like, full disclosure, I listened to every record, watched every music video, and I listened to like all the fan club CDs they did, because like every year you could like buy into the like Linkin Park Underground fan club, and they would have like a full ass CD. There's so much history.
So you were, you know, essentially the Titanic going into the Linkin Park iceberg.
It washed over me.
Sunk
I
all
was
the way
like
down.
taking notes and everything. I was like listening to all the demos they released. Really went in, because it's like you do hear. Because I was like, if I heard a song from the Hybrid Theory or Meteor sessions that wasn't part of my like nostalgia, because like I've listened to those albums front to back, do they still bang? Like, is it good? Like, is that type of new metal still good? And I think
What's the answer?
I think the answer is yes. Like, there's a non-album track called QWERTY that like has that full like wall of guitars. It's like, yeah, like that guitar tone, dude, it fucking rocks.
Yeah. So heavy. They're so heavy.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So, yeah, nobody got that one, right?
No.
Nerds. Number two, where did Chester Bennington work before Linkin Park got signed and became successful? A. Burger King, B. Taco Bell, or C. McDonald's?
Tucson, Taco Bell.
I feel Burger King.
I feel Burger King.
It was Burger King. Yeah, he worked.
The king.
The King. Yeah,
He came in
needed his Whopper.
reeking of Whopper sauce.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in an interview for Vogue, he said, "I gots to get me my Whopper." No, just kidding.
Direct quote.
Yeah.
He was standing in the lettuce.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the National Enquirer. Get that out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, number three. How many times were Linkin Park rejected by major labels before Warner Brothers signed them in 2005? A. 44 times, B. 33 times, or C. 22 times? All bad numbers.
Shit.
That's got to be. That's
Yeah.
heavy confidence. Right there.
44? I'll say 44.
I think it's 44 too.
44.
It is 44, and they even got rejected by Warner Brothers 3 times before being accepted. But then the Chester demos came in, dude. You know,
Right.
we're in. Easy. Get them over here. Fly them in. We got Warner Bros. At 3. Get here.
So they were called Linkin Park before.
No.
They were called Zero with an X.
Oh,
And then they were called Hybrid Theory, and then Linkin Park. I don't know why, but
Okay.
And they had like weird. There's so much hyper documentation about Linkin Park, but there's like 2 past members, like one of the past vocalists for Zero, that they like kind of like kicked out, and he's like, I guess he's still kind of chill with them. But there's like one bassist named Kyle, who there's like a lot of secondary sources that like they said there's actually like they really like cut ties with him, and like if you look at the Linkin Park like fan stuff, people like specifically don't talk about him. Like the pages are like cleared. So like there were some real shakeups in the band pre-Chester.
Oh my God.
Kyle.
Justice for Kyle, maybe? Or not justice for Kyle? What did Kyle do?
Kyle Colin.
Yeah.
2, 3,
come
1.
out from hiding. We need you. Get on Skippables.
Jesus. I didn't realize that there was such a scary conspiracy. They disappeared Kyle.
Well, like, because the Linkin Park fandom like has this full wiki that I would hope like we all spent some time with. Yeah, Linkinpedia it's called.
I didn't touch that one.
And so it's like it's not. I looked at their rules, so like
your eye is twitching right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I had like a different. So like I'm not always up on Linkin Park. I'm not always. My feelings aren't always positive, especially as the career continues. But the fans, it really is. So I really wanted to, as you know, as a social psychologist, really honestly understand like who are the Linkin heads, who are the guys who are like every single track rocks. So I was like reading the like Linkin Park Reddit like every day, just like really trying to get it, and I think I get it. But like the Linkin Park wiki, I thought was just like a fan wiki, like a Wikia thing. But every single edit and every single piece of information sent is like manually vetted. Like there is a really strong, like there are like a strong set of administrators who, if they do not gel with what you're saying, like it's not getting published.
There's a panel. There's a Linkin Park panel.
There's a Linkin Illuminati.
Right. The panel of truth.
Linkinpediacs.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, we need that more in the news.
Yeah.
You know? Huh?
Yeah.
And in our schools is all I'm saying. You know? But
so true.
If we could just take a page out of Linkin Park's, you know,
Linkin Parkopedia,
ethics.
Linkinpedia.
But I mean, I definitely get the feeling of that, even just listening to their music and seeing their videos and stuff, like especially their earlier videos and mid-career. It feels like it's all sort of one long story in a way. It's all existing in the same universe. So yeah, I just get the sense that the fans are deep. You know,
I mean, there's
maniacs.
there's always fanatics for band. Like there's, you know, every band has a fanatical fan. Like that's just the way that, you know, fandom works. Hopefully, if you're a band, you know, you guys have crazy fans for you too. But you know, like I mean, yeah, not every fucking Linkin Park song is good. Like it's just not true. But like they have convinced themselves, and like same thing for the Pepperheads. The Red Hot Chili Pepper fans, they're fucking insane.
The Pet Shop Boy heads, they ripped us to shreds.
Dude,
online.
shout out. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but like, we were like outside of a bar, and I mentioned, like, we were talking about the Red Hot Chili Peppers and how like I just wasn't a big fan, and this girl started straight like yelling at me, like, full on, like, you're wrong. How could you? I think she was like kind of flirty and kind of, you know, like not in like a I want to fight you. She
wasn't really gonna like stab you,
but she was just like full throated, like, what? Like, how could you? And I was like, I just don't like it. You know, like it's not for me. I like some of their songs.
She's like,
when I was driving listening to the Sublime episode, I was kind of gripping my steering wheel. You know, a couple comments, but a real fan can see it from every point of view.
Yes.
A real fan has love. Oh, and think of, would Chester want people to be dissing each other over his music? No. If you don't like it, move on.
Come on.
No.
What is it? WWF? WCD.
WWCD. What would Chester do?
Yeah.
WWCBD. Chester Bennington.
Number 4, I forgot we were even doing
go back to
this
the
quiz. Number 4, what was the name of Mike Shinoda's short-lived hip-hop side project? A, Crimson Decisions, B, Fort Minor, or C, Fact Check?
Port Minor? Is that what it is? Fort?
Fort.
Fort Minor.
Fort Minor.
Fort Minor.
It's Fort Minor, guys. He only had one album, but he did collab with Jay-Z, John Legend, Common, and a bunch of other people.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
He dropped the album, and then when he was waiting for the album to come out from the label, he got impatient and he recorded a full mixtape and dropped the mixtape with the album.
Wow. And it's honestly a pretty cool cover. It's like this weird, like, kind of a messy sort of skeleton thing with a bunch of, like, I don't know. It looks cool.
Is it good? Have you listened to it, Tom?
I heard one song and I didn't like it too much.
I had to pick my battles, given that I listened to, again,
Yeah.
everything. Like, I think I added up and it was maybe over, like, 24 hours of music.
Oh, shit.
Because,
like
like,
consecutively too, right?
well, and to speak to them nurturing this fan base, it's like every year they had something called the Linkin Park Underground, which, like, you would pay, like, between $40 to $60, and they would send you a CD, like a keychain, like different stuff, and you would be like, a lot of people would do it to get like pre-sale access to shows and stuff like that. So like they nurtured this fan base, and so all those releases are like up. And you know, when we're picking songs, I can certainly speak to the trajectory of some of those, but it's something they did nurture. When we talk about this, like, there is a lot of, especially with Mike Shinoda, there's like business acumen.
Oh yeah,
in
he's
here.
definitely the business character in all of this. He's the McMahon.
So check out Fort Minor.
Fort Minor. Number 5. Which less talked about Linkin Park member actually directed 19 of the band's music videos? A, drummer Rob Burden, B, bassist Dave Farrell, or C, DJ Joe Hahn?
DJ Johan.
Johan.
Mr. Hahn.
It's Mr. Hahn,
Yeah.
dude. He's a fucking killer. He directed all 19 of their videos. He directed a feature-length film called The Mall. He's done film scores, and he even did special effects on an early 2000s TV miniseries of Dune.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, and the kicker, the cherry on top, visual effects supervisor for Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Dude.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, with the
Whoa.
Hulkster. With the Hulkster.
Listen here, brother.
There's a Linkin Park Hulk Hogan
Yeah.
hand-holding thing.
Wow.
They're in the same universe.
I was like, so there's a period where I was like feeling like I don't have a lot to say about Linkin Park. So like any person that I came across, I would say like, I'm listening to all the Linkin Park music for this podcast. Like, what do you think about Linkin Park? And most people would like talk about Chester, be like, oh, I love this song, that's good. But my one buddy was like, I was like, oh, what do you think about Linkin Park? He was like, yeah, Mr. Hahn. And that like blew my mind. Like there are some people were like that's what they latched onto,
Yeah.
which makes sense because they're shouting him out. But he was like, yeah, Mr. Hahn.
Dude, he had a panel at like when Force Awakens was coming out at some event. I saw an interview where he had a panel, dude, and they were interviewing him. I don't know what was. Yeah, and then I went on IMDb and there's no like connection with him in Star Wars. So I was like, what the fuck did they?
They
do
just
that
let him
for?
do it. Dude.
Like, oh shit, he's coming! Like,
Yeah.
fucking get him
Put
on
him on,
stage.
bro.
I hope they still gave him like a USB DJ controller when he was like talking at the panel.
Yeah, like, Fred Harrison.
For us.
Yeah. They had Serato up.
Oh my god. Who knew? Who knew they were so talented, dude? Like
Dude, yeah, total powerhouse.
Shinoda, Mr. Hahn.
Yeah.
Brad.
Who was the
Brad, who wears the
Brad,
big ass headphones.
Rob and Dave.
Kenny.
Which he
Rest
does
in
for
peace.
his hearing. It's not music. I always thought it was maybe the sampler or the DJ. He does it for his hearing.
Just for you. Dude.
I think it's a good again,
Smart.
kids are watching this band. It's like a good message for kids. Like it's actually like you can be in what was the biggest, coolest band at the time, Linkin Park, and be like actively, visibly protecting your hearing.
I care
Have
about
a good
my-
thing.
I
Yeah.
thought he actually did it for style because I legitimately thought it was really
It
cool
just
that
looks
he
cool.
did it.
Just a
Yeah.
byproduct. Just a byproduct. I also I was looking for facts and stuff, and they made mention that he only wears Shure. Like canceling headphones. I was like, okay,
Sponsored. Sponsored.
So shout out, Shure.
So enter promo code
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Lincoln bio.
Oh my God.
Number 6. In which early 90s movie does Linkin Park guitarist Brad Delson appear as an extra in? A. Drop Dead Fred. B. Bride of Reanimator. Or C. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. First stump.
Bride of Reanimator. That seems the most low budget.
I'll go with that too.
Drop Dead Fred.
Guys, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Damn.
I've seen that movie so many times.
I was like really hoping that there was some sort of documentation of him, like where he is in the corner or something like that, you know?
Wait, hold on. Let me do a retake. Whoa. Oh, that's my cue.
Big Melvin.
Well, there's other film appearances too.
What?
I'm like, dude, edit this out if I'm wrong, but I'm 90% sure that Chester is in like a Saw movie, like a later Saw movie, and dies really gruesomely.
That's right.
And I looked up the YouTube video
yeah.
now, and people are just like, dude, like too real.
Yeah.
Because he, like, it's brutal.
Yeah, he puts his whole ass into it, I'm sure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I remember that too. Yeah, or maybe like
that
Saw.
sounds really
like,
familiar.
He screams. You
Set-
know? He knows how to scream.
He does a scream, yeah. Dude.
That'd be great. I mean, and he sounds like he would do it.
So insecure.
Felt this way before.
Do you want to play a game? What?
Yeah.
I can't do it, Chester. Last question, guys. Which Linkin Park song did Chester Bennington claim was the most emotionally difficult song to sing live? A. Numb. B. Breaking the Habit. Or C. Crawling.
Fuck, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking the Habit, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I was saying Breaking the Habit too.
Breaking the Habit.
Crawling. Yeah, crawling.
Must be the baby
I
thing.
mean, I was thinking about it
gotta
too.
be
Like,
the baby
he's
thing.
younger at the time, so whatever he's writing about is probably like he's
Like
probably
too-
maybe in the thick of it. You know,
Too real, maybe.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he would say that it was really difficult, even like on tour and stuff. Like doing it consecutively would still be really rough.
I get that.
But so
He like talked about with Breaking the Habit being like, so Mike wrote the lyrics to that, and Chester like talked about like when he read the lyrics and like started doing the song, he was like, his mind was blown. He was like, this is like my life, and he was like, his vocal takes, he was like crying in the booth.
wow.
But Chester was a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lots
they
of songs.
both are.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny if like everybody else is not, and they're just like, guys, like, fuck.
Yeah.
Please.
That's cool, bro. Yeah, they're like finally like, let's do like a poppy album, guys. Like,
Yeah, they're
I got some ideas that I'm
Finally
working on. You didn't let me do it, dude.
Kent can write some songs for Linkin Park. I'm not gonna come to the studio today.
So
So yeah, it looks like we have some monogamy here today, dude. Sam and Don tied for 2.
That's pure
That was
democracy
that was
right
kind
there,
of a
dude.
tight one. I worked hard on this because Don had mentioned he was sending me cryptic messages, like just a picture of like a whole bunch of Linkin Park facts, and I was like, I
Oh,
really
no.
got to be on my game.
Yeah.
And he knew. I saw him looking at me. He was just like, oh, I'm gonna go last.
Well, it's like, it's also, Chester said a lot, and I read and listened to so much where it's like, I know he said something about that song.
The Burger King and
Well, because it's like,
Yeah,
I was like Burger King. I was like, yes.
did you know the Burger King?
Oh yeah. But like, it's
Day one stuff.
Yeah, you
like-
go there, you ask for the Chester, and they know what's up.
Cheese.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, Sam and Don.
Great job,
Tied,
guys.
yeah, thank you.
You guys won a break. Nice, well-deserved break. Let's take a little break. We'll be right back. Just like before. Every song you played on me. One step closer to the edge, another weapon skip. I need a little softer skip. One step closer to the edge, another weapon skip. Every song you played on me. One step closer to the edge, another weapon skip. I need a little room to skip. One step closer to the edge, another weapon skip. All right, we're back. Great to be back. Okay, let's get started with these skippable awards. This is what we all came here for. This is the Skippies. Getting started with number 1, as always, with a bullet, the Elizabeth Fraser Award, aka the most unintelligible vocal line that you hear. And this is something that Chester is singing. So something that you can hear Chester say. Who wants to go first to give an example for everybody? Josh, you want to get started?
I got like it's the perfect example, but one that really took me by surprise. So I've got announcement service public, 140. I thought he was just screaming, and I was trying to make some sort of like half-ass joke about what he was saying because I couldn't understand what he was saying. Because he actually, for as loud and as raspy as he gets, he enunciates pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there isn't too much that I couldn't not understand. So that's 140 on that guy. One fucking ripper, dude. That's such a good song. I really like that track. So I'm like, what the hell is he saying? I couldn't understand. Turns out they're playing something backwards. So Gio, I sent you the link. I think probably around then, 140, because it's the whole song just backwards. Yeah, what is going on there? What is happening?
That's
like,
genius,
I love the fact that that's really cool to me. If people are playing their stuff backwards, it just sounds cool to me. I love that warbly sort of sound. But like, Chester is a masterful vocalist. And he went into the studio and was like, you should brush your teeth and you should wash your hands. Full, like, not holding back at all. He's full Chester, Linkin Park, rocking, like, screaming, belting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Jerome's Dream, that Screamo band, where they wouldn't use a microphone when they played live and recorded.
They might have said the same stuff, too.
Honestly, yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was really good. What a strange subliminal message to give to children. Usually
it keeps working.
Yeah. It's just like satanic, but they're just like, yeah, I mean,
I usually never brush my teeth, but I like ever since I heard this, I started again.
compelled to.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go next, Sam?
Washing the hands. We're still waiting on.
Still working on that.
So I think as I sat down and was reading out loud, I realized I missed at least one of these categories.
Okay.
This is one of the ones I missed.
This is one of the ones.
If
Okay.
someone wants to say two maybe for me.
Okay.
Possibly. I don't know.
What about you, Don? Do you have one?
All right, I have one deep cut from the Linkin Park Underground. It's Esau, A Place for My Head demo at 145. Again, most of the discography is pretty clear, but when I heard something that didn't sit with me, I really fixated on it, and what the lyrics actually are, I'm not okay with.
Heal my wounds soon. The Aztec moon will heat my room. Heal my wounds
Soon the Aztec moon will heat my room and heal my wounds is apparently that line.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Shout out to the
just
Aztecs,
like-
dude. Free AC, bro.
Because I was like, this is like
Crazy.
it's like a misheard lyric, but primary sources was heat my room.
Heat my room.
My room.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, all over the place.
He was a thin guy. I can imagine he was probably cold a lot.
Yeah, true.
Right?
You know,
Something to do
heat
with-
my room. It's a constant struggle. I can't find a place warm enough. We're in Hawaii, Chester. Please.
Yeah, dude. I get it. It's, there's a kind of cold that cold people just they run cold. The refrigerators. Yeah. He might have been one of those kinds.
And he also does that line in like ASMR voice too at the beginning too.
Yeah, it felt really nice.
Hot.
I got the tingles.
Very hot. Okay. All right. I will go next. So My Elizabeth Fraser is from like a very nostalgic point of view. This is a song that like I never knew, right, what the lyrics were because I've been saying it wrong this whole time. And I looked at the lyrics and I was wrong. I felt stupid, but I got over it. So it's Breaking the Habit. The lyrics are, I don't want to be the one who battles always choose, right? Well, my whole thing is that I always heard the battles only shoes, or battles on with shoes, instead of battles only choose. So I'll get to that point.
Unless I try to start again, I don't want to be the one the battles always choose, 'cause inside I realize.
I just thought, like, other people battle with boots.
Yeah.
He is battling with shoes. Therefore,
agility is the definitely.
yeah, it's just like someone's gonna step on his toe. It's gonna hurt. That's a battle. He's gonna lose, right? He doesn't want to be the one that battles with only shoes.
I mean, but if I'm going into a battle and you don't have shoes, I feel like I can't.
Right. If you're shoeless, yeah, that's one thing. But like I'm saying, normally you have boots or like some type of cover for your, like you're not wearing sneakers. He's wearing Nikes to a battle.
It's all about approach, man. It's all about fighting style.
Yeah.
It's all about taking the enemy down in the way that they're not expecting.
A couple of times that line hit me sideways as like battles always Jews, which I thought was
yeah.
That's part of my background. So I was like, thank you, Chester, for stepping up and saying against anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
No battling Jews.
I don't want to be the one.
Yeah,
that's
I don't.
Always battling Jews. That's true.
I'm not gonna go down on this one.
Okay, so that is all of our Elizabeth Fraser awards. Let's get next to the Top Bop Award. This is, of course, your favorite song. Listening to this discography, of course, we listened to all of their albums. We didn't go as far as Don did.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of songs.
The admin. Did you make it like to that level that you could be an admin on Linkinpedia?
Somebody from like the panel emailed you like, "What the hell are you doing on our message boards?
Yeah,
like, why are you just lurking?" Like,
I get
I
get a cut of the Patreon.
Yeah,
It's just funny though because I really like listened to all of it and felt pretty like unmoved. Like I don't think my opinion was swayed by hearing every single thing. I was just sort of like, yeah, the stuff that's good is kind of good, and the stuff that's bad is like bad.
And there really is just a huge gap.
There's
we definitely gotta wait till the final questions, but man,
let's stay up in the clouds for now. So Don, since you listen to it most, what is your top bop?
So like the Reanimation version of Points of Authority, and the beginning is really good. IMO.
Somebody else takes a wild frame. Grenade a shake, rock your face. You can't run the race. This is too fast. Just
dude, gosh darn.
Those
that's cool.
Those like UK acid samples. It's bridging gaps in electronic music, but like the Hybrid Theory version, I remembered like Points of Authority was like even my song as a kid, and the Hybrid Theory version doesn't hit like that.
Not anymore.
Like I was like sitting with Sam, we were like playing the music videos, and I put on the one for like Points of Authority, and I think he could probably see it in my face. So I was like, "This is
like, what is
this?"
Because
the Hybrid Theory version. It's like it didn't sit right with me.
It was the acid bass.
You like noticeably were just like,
I felt bad because you're like, I was like, man, this one Point of Authority fucking rocks. And I'm like,
Sam, change the fucking song.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. He seems kind of like sexy in that one. There's a little sexiness in that, dude. There's a little smoke.
it's like a
in that.
little Nine Inch Nails type.
Yeah. There's definitely a little like seduction going on in that one. That's a good one.
I wonder if he's doing any like inward screaming. I'm not going to attempt it now, but like. You know what I'm saying?
Inward screaming.
Yeah, like that's sort of like throat, like it's a really high, like almost akin to like a pig squeal, but you scream on the in, not the out.
Right.
You know?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, he seems like he's a master of his craft of screaming. So I'm sure he learned to scream every different way.
He's the throat goat.
Yeah.
He's the throat goat.
Yeah, dude, him and Nancy Reagan. Shout out. What about you, Sam? What's your top up?
My top bop is Faint.
Faint.
Oh,
Classic.
Same.
Yeah, that song is just
So good.
Take it from the top,
cool.
dude.
I was gonna say
Same
it's
from
skip.
the very
beginning.
top.
All right, Faint. Here we go.
A little bit of loneliness, a little
A little bit of disregard.
Oh, dude, can you please cut to the chorus,
Okay,
please?
let's see.
If you listen to that very beginning part, I think it's been verified by Mr. Hom, but there's an urban legend that he mixed a fart into that first drum loop at the beginning.
Oh, really?
If you get to like minute 8, you can hear it.
A 303 and a fart sound very similar.
He was the prankster of the group.
Yeah.
It's on a 404. You don't fucking see it.
It's so funny. They're like, wait, that's not the right fart sound. Can you do it again, please? Yeah.
Mix it up.
Yeah. You can't just like change it in the EQ. Like,
Well,
no.
triple tracking it like the vocals.
Yeah. All right, let's do the chorus. Here we go.
I can't face the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. I am a little bit insecure.
I am.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
So cool.
Yeah, where were you, Sam? Where were you?
Man,
were
like when I was a kid, even
Yeah,
this is when
yeah.
this is a song I was like, whoa, like it can be like wound up in the back seat.
Yeah.
Gets me wound up in the front seat
because
now.
you guys were
like,
playing it in the car.
in the
You
car as
said,
a kid,
that's
yeah,
yeah.
I'm driving the car now.
yeah. Now I'm putting it on. Yeah,
It's my CD now.
yeah,
Dude,
And I-
for me, it just reminds me of playing like fucking Mortal Kombat with my brothers, like fucking underwear until like 3 p.m. You know, on a Saturday afternoon. You know,
I just think of
that's
that
such a banger.
getting like 4 feet of air off a half pipe.
Whoa,
Nice.
Are you
Boom,
a
the
skater
drop comes
boy?
in.
Were you a skater boy?
I was not good, but I watched a lot of skate videos.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
Linkin Park figured in heavily. That and AMVs.
Dude, the youth of the early 2000s.
Right. Animated music video.
Yeah.
Just interesting, like Afro Samurai doing like to like numb or something.
Well, and, like Mike Shinoda is like really like into it, and like specifically is like our music spread via like anime music videos. Like he has like a major respect for it.
Yeah, I was trying to look up a lot of the animators, and you know, I'm sure I just didn't dig deep enough. I was trying to find the animators of all of those like music videos.
Hella
and
cool.
I couldn't find them.
Yes.
It definitely is like heavily like anime is that vibe, but
Yeah.
like I get a lot of like Todd McFarlane and like Image comics too. You know, it's just so fucking good, and it's so gritty, almost like arguably an ugly aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know, like torn to shreds, which I know is their, you know, even emotionally, that's sort of their thing. But
Yeah.
Fucking rad.
Okay, so my favorite song, Top Op, it's got to be just the one that like has like in my head, I can still like sing it like word for word in my head. Like it just, you know, like this song never left my little angsty heart. It goes out to Numb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just so fucking
Yeah.
good.
I literally had both songs in my hands, and I was like, which one do I?
Yeah. Which one? And gotta go with Numb. I don't know, like I like his lyrics in this. It's very heartfelt, very well done. And I don't know, like I like the music of it is also really good. And really quick back to your guys' song Faint. That intro just has like a very like toxic like intro kind of vibe, you know, like they're just like that really cool like sample intro thing that like they do every now and then. Every now and then they'll have like a really cool synth line as an intro.
Well, they sampled all through an MPC 1000. So like there's specific like MPC time stretch shit that like Mike specifically was like way big into it, and like I use
are
I
you
use
as
a little.
well?
As an MPC 1000 user. I'm like, oh, I can hear the compressor on that. Like, I nerd out.
We're trying to get that Linkin Park sound.
We're trying to
and
get that.
Monogamy.
That and Black Dice. Somewhere in between there. Check out Monogamy.
All right, so here's numb. Here we go.
Every step that I take is another mistake to you. Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this. All I want to do is be more like me and be less like you. Can't you see that you're smothering me?
Yeah, dude.
That's a really, really good one.
Yeah. It's
Fucking-
like so emotional. Like it's very good. It's such a good song to sing along to because like it's not really like a screamy song, so you can kind of like follow him with like through a lot of it, which is kind of nice, you know.
It's lucky that these mics are on arms, dude, because I might go full karaoke.
Yeah,
for
honestly.
everyone right here.
For
you
real.
know?
They're really good. Okay.
It's a good album closer too. Specifically,
Yes!
like ending the year
I
on that
forgot it was
note
the
is
last.
like
Yeah.
the CD stops. You know, you hear the changer go, and you're like, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's why Meteor to me hangs together so nicely as like an album is because they really sequence it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Totally. And like that compared to I think like the last song that they ever recorded, you know? And then the last track on their last album. It's just like you see that they put a lot of care into one and then not a lot of care into the other, you know?
Bring back the NPC.
Yeah.
Where's the NPC?
Okay, so that's all of our top bops. Let's get on to the next award. This is the Morrissey Award, aka their most political or social take that was bad, uncalled for, weird. You know, there's lots of ways you can use this.
Why don't you show us how you used it?
Well, it's kind of funny because I didn't use it this time. I wanted to exemplify another aspect that I heard this time around. And this is a negative for sure. So this is an award that I'm going to give them. It's the Grand Theft Audio Award. This goes out to their song Shadow of the Day. Okay, so I'm going to play you the intro to Shadow of the Day. Okay, and then I'm going to play you the intro to another song. And I just want to just you know, kind of check the room and see how you feel after the two and see if there's any kind of similarities.
Hairs on the back of my
Here's
neck. Or
Shadow of
something.
the Day.
I closed both locks below the window.
Okay, right? Nice and moody intro.
I like that one.
Here we go. This is another song.
I'm gonna take a nice stretch right now. Go back, play the other one.
Okay.
Your friends all plead for you to stay.
It's fucking there.
No,
dude.
it's like
it
you
is
want to shove it
there.
in there.
I'm telling you, I will make a mix for you. It is they're literally like 4 minutes 56 seconds long each almost, right? I think what Shadow of the Day is 450, with or without you is 456, right? Basically the same tempo.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's
Basically the same intro, right?
basically the same intro,
It's like
completely not the same.
slow intro, vocal, and then like little like burst of drums, and then the drums kick in for the ending. It's the exact same fucking song. I'm telling you, dude. I heard it too many times that I was like, this is with or without you. They just did like, you know, in the shadow of the day,
Never
with or
heard
without
this
you.
while I've heard this song, but
I
you know
swear,
what,
dude.
You really hit those harmonies right there. So
I
I'll
knew,
give it to
like-
you. I'll give it to you.
It's sampling.
Yeah.
It is beautiful sampling.
It's an interpolation for sure. Grand Theft Audio. I'm saying it's a bad take, and here's really why I'm using this as the Morrissey Award. They changed their sound, and I'm gonna give them a demerit for that. Okay? No. Wagging my finger at them. Bad boys. It sucks they get worse over time. They're
Very
changing their
worse.
sound. And Shadow of the Day is like like that versus their first 2 records. Like it's not the same band.
I've heard Shadow of the Day a lot, and I never knew it was Linkin Park because of how different.
Probably
sounded
thought it was
to my
you
ear.
too.
Really?
Yeah.
He's out here
Thought
thinking
it
it's a
was you
YouTube
too.
deep cut, dude.
Who did you think it was? Who did you think it was? Arctic Monkeys. Yeah.
Sam thought it was Slow Dive.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Well, okay, that might have been a stretch,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna follow this to my grave, dude. Okay, with or without you.
Man, that's
Day,
gonna
it's the
haunt
same
you.
song.
That's gonna haunt you, man. You might want to consider taking
Yeah,
that back.
Might go
Make an
to
amendment.
psychotherapy for that. Okay, who's next? You want to go next, Josh?
Yeah, I'll show you how to not do a
Yeah,
Morrissey Award.
please.
I didn't do a Morrissey Award. I knew that we were doing Linkin Park. It's a huge band. I love early Linkin Park, and I wanted to make an award that I felt fit for them as an entire band. So I have the Linkin Park Shut Up When I'm Talking to You award for
Nice.
the angstiest, angriest lyrics in a song.
Ooh.
And I think that that's just kind of bottom line, not always what they're about, but the shut up when I'm talking to you comes in because they have a lot to really fucking say. And going back to what Don was saying about even him contributing to this cafe, trying to create people to have an outlet to talk and to have their perspectives represented in songs, you shut up. You shut up when I'm talking to you. Yes. That being said, for the angstiest lyrics, I have Runaway at 153.
And open up my mind. Gonna run away and never say goodbye. Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away. I'm gonna run away and never wonder why. Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away. I'm gonna run away and open up my mind. Gonna run away, gonna run away. Gonna run away, gonna run away.
Just pure angst, dude. Just anger and like emotion that you can't like vocalize and like put into a coherent thought. It's just the fucking angst.
We've all said it, dude. I want to run away.
Yep.
Not easy.
Open up my mind.
There's like an interview with Chester where he's like basically talking about the change in style. He's like, I still like playing like In the End, Crawling, but he says specifically like, I do not understand why people still want to hear Runaway. He's like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like he's like embarrassed to have to get on stage almost every day of his life for the next 20 years or whatever.
Oh my god.
And sing Runaway.
And sing, yeah.
That's rough, dude. But it's a good song. I want to know the answers.
The production,
No more lies.
the production is amazing. Like, kind of even in their shittier stuff, they know how to produce shitty music. You know,
like their first 2 records just aren't shitty. Like just flat out, like they're good. Like it's just what happens afterwards. You know, it's like, and this is what happens to a lot of bands. Is like you set out to be like an artistic, you know, force, and then you become like a careerist and it becomes your job. And then all of a sudden you can't really leave the band because like it's your whole life and livelihood. And then you end up making like one more light because the studio needs like, you know, they're like, hey, record studio wants another record. Like might as well, like let's give it to them.
You know who I got a little bit of, sorry to cut you off there, Don, Weezer. There's a lot of late career Weezer parallels
Just
with
trying
late career
everything.
Linkin
Just
Park,
trying
you
anything
know?
they can.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say, Don.
I think like so much music like this and like capturing the lightning in the bottle of the first 2 records is like there's a ratio that I think a band like this needs to have of like the guys need to be this level of dumb and think they're this level of smart. And I think as Linkin Park keeps going, they think they're like smarter and smarter. And that's just like, and maybe they get dumber and dumber. No diss.
Yeah.
You know,
Great
with
movie,
all
great
respect, great movie. And I think that's part of what happens. Like when they're doing soundscapes, like, can the guitars be loud? Can you scream, brother? Like,
Yeah.
be like,
Just do
just
what you
be
were
dumb.
good at.
Be
Yeah.
dumb. Be dumber.
Yeah, we didn't sign up for like, you know, a Justin Bieber produced type track. Like it's just, it doesn't seem, and like no, you know, I'm not saying Justin Bieber's not hardcore, okay?
Yeah,
Justin
hey,
Bieber fans,
you
he's
might want to
fucking
watch
hard,
out there
bro.
saying that stuff.
But it's also like I want to hear like I'm gonna leave and not say goodbye. Like it's not like I don't really want to hear about nuclear war. That's not the band I go to for
Yes.
that.
Yeah, or at
Yes.
least like I could totally see what was the name of the album? A Thousand Suns.
Yes.
Yeah. R.I.P. Oppenheimer.
So
King.
Shout out Oppenheimer.
But,
I think one of their songs made onto the soundtrack for the movie.
yeah.
But
Go to the
dude-
movie theater, use promo code.
Yeah.
Free DVD, Blu-ray combos. But I could see a early Hybrid Theory Linkin Park doing an Oppenheimer A Thousand Suns album, you know? That sort of like concept mixed with their like really angsty hard, like, you know, techno-y, hip-hop-y, new metal-y sound. I think it would work better than... Dude, I don't even fucking remember. I don't think I chose anything off of that album because the middle 4, the middle 3 or something,
It's
complete
rough.
wash.
It's
complete
rough.
wash, dude.
Yeah. It's hard to like to talk about like the middle albums because they're like not memorable really in like a lot of ways. Like the one with like all caps living things. It's kind of, I don't know, like I can't say they're like bad songs because they're not really like terrible songs, but like
Well, my Morrissey award is from a song off that record.
oh
It's Until It Breaks.
On the level while you quiver in your pants. So shake, shake down. Money, here's the breakdown. You can play the bank, I'ma play the bank takedown. And no mistakes now coming to get you. I'm just a Banksy, you're a brainwash. Get the picture, it's like that.
Word.
Not only is the
Word.
line I'm just a Banksy, you're a brainwash not good, but also it is rhyming with the other lines Banksy rhymes with is bank as well as the word bank.
yeah, you can play the bank. I'ma play the bank takedown.
I'm just a Banksy.
Yeah, and no
And
mistakes.
I'm just a Banksy.
Yeah, like
I'm
it's
just a Banksy.
it's this like thing of like, oh, like we are intellectual, but like their intellectual touch point for ours is like Banksy.
Yes.
Again, no diss.
Wait, so
no diss
brainwash
Banksy.
isn't a person he's talking about? It's just like being brainwashed.
I think so.
Well, because it's the Mr. Brainwash, right?
Right.
That was...
That yeah, exactly.
well, I can't remember
Another
that guy's name.
graffitiist.
But pretty much he was like Banksy's wing. Well, he like filmed him for like forever, and then they made that
Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Through the Gift Shop.
Yeah.
And he became Mr. Brainwash, and like pretty much had like an art factory, and was... There's even theories that Mr. Brainwash is Banksy because it's just terrible, like fucking manufactured art, you know. It is.
Oh, I didn't know who brainwash was. I thought he meant
the Flipper song.
Oh,
I thought he meant like you were brainwashed. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're, like smart like them and Banksy.
yeah, dude. People that don't get Banksy, they're just brainwashed,
Yeah.
bro.
Don't you fucking see?
Okay, so that's all of our Morrissey awards. Sam, I think you have one left, right?
I got the Morrissey Award. I got it's off A Thousand Suns, Wisdom, Justice, and Love. Okay, and just for context, this is Martin Luther King Jr. talking in the song. I have a timestamp of 45 seconds.
Okay.
Sending men home from dark and bloody battlefields, physically handicapped and psychologically deranged. Cannot be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love. Cannot be reconciled with wisdom, justice, and love.
So
Powerful.
it's kind of a cool effect, but it's weird to do on Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad or good. Maybe kind of just.
He just has such a powerful message that it's like, why would you distort this?
Yeah.
You know, or at least to that degree.
They make him sound like one of their beloved Transformers.
Yeah. Optimus, dude, yeah.
You're trying to send a message out to the Autobots.
Like, actually, like, Bumblebee's real voice just sounds like MLK, dude. Is that...
And they,
Honestly, like, freaking Autobot racism sounds completely catastrophic for the universe.
Yeah.
It's true.
they gave MLK the co-write on that song, though. You have to
did.
respect
Whoa.
that.
Yeah, which brings to mind. Do you imagine MLK Jr. in the room with them?
Right.
writing the speech for it.
Ghostwriting for them. Wow. So okay, like I understand why this is your award because like it just doesn't make any sense. Like, what does that have to do with nuclear warfare? Like, because that's during like that's the album, right? Like this 1,000 Suns is like kind of like their atomic bomb record. So like, yeah, MLK, you know, talking about nuclear proliferation. I'm not sure if that was part of the Wisdom, Justice, and Love speech. Where he's like, and nukes are bad. Like, I don't think that was the theme of that. So I don't know why he's laying that in.
Tagline.
Yeah.
And all that.
Be careful with the nuclear weapons. Yeah, okay. That's goofy for sure. I don't know if it's, I mean, it's positive, I guess, for kids, right? It's good for kids to...
Yeah.
But again, like,
They're gonna skip this for
why
sure,
fuck
though.
with the sample? At
Yeah, it
least,
doesn't
like,
be
we can
spooky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear it.
But like, it could have been like something else about nuclear war, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe distort.
Okay, so that is all our Morrissey Award. Let's go next to the Are We Humans or Are We Dancer Award. This is incomprehensible lyrics, and this is the written word. This is what Chester or Mike wrote down and, you know, published for the world to see. So, kind of goofy lyrics is another way to say that, you know, any kind of like fun lyrics. Who wants to go first? Don?
26 letters in the alphabet from any point.
Oh, okay, yes. 26 letters.
And if you're playing at home, viewer, pull up the cover art for the LPU8 EP as well.
And go to the floor with Ernie and Bert. When I'm on the floor, I'm singing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. When I'm on the floor, I'm singing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I got lots of friends, so I don't.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
What?
So it's like a fan it's a fan club only release because like that was the 8th one, and for the first ones were like demos, different mixes, exclusive songs, and for 4 they started 4, 5, and 6 like mostly live tracks, and 7 is just like all live material that was like previously released. So the fans were sort of like upset because they're paying like $40 to $60 for these packages, complaining to the band. So like Mike and Chester essentially packaged like a CD for the next one that was all songs like that. Just these like really like chordy, like just like they're like fucking around the studio, but it's like listening to hearing other people's like inside jokes that you just like don't get and aren't that funny to you.
Yeah.
Right.
And then still selling that to the fans. But the amazing thing is, again, because it's Linkin Park fans, you'll see them online and be like, yeah, it's good. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Can you
awesome
fucking
music.
believe this, Mr. Hahn? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I kind of get it because like it's for them. Like it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like it's our little secret. Like now they let us into their world, you know, like listening to shitty demos from like your friends is like, you know, it's how you get closer to them. You can lie to their face and be like, oh, bro, it's fucking incredible. It's a masterpiece.
That's how all the fans feel at
Yeah.
this point. All the admins.
Exactly.
All the
Yeah.
They paid $40. You're like, this better be a masterpiece, dude. Yeah. Okay. That was a good one, dude. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Never miss a chance to say that word. Making myself feel smart.
Yeah, exactly. Say the biggest word.
I know big words. All right. What about you, Sam? What's your?
Yeah,
Are We Human, Are We
I forgot to
Dancer?
do this one too. I didn't do this one too.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What about you, Josh?
I did another award. I did the Caravan Palace Indecent Exposure Award.
Okay.
This song actually was has always bugged me ever since a kid. I have Easier to Run off of Meteora, and this comes right after Hit the Floor and before Faint, my top bop. And dude, this always fucked up the flow of Meteora for me. I don't have the timestamp, but I think it's just, it starts with the, just play it. Before I have a heart attack.
It's easier to run, replacing this pain with something new. It's so much easier to go.
It's got like an uplifting tone about it, which like, I don't know, it just really slows down the album for me. And, you know, it starts off pretty cool. I like the samples and the guitar in the beginning, but dude, every time that would play on my CD at home while I'm playing my Mortal Kombat, dude, you know, I'm skipping to faint.
Okay. So an early skip for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think about that, Don? What do you think?
So Chester's been on records really not liking that song, specifically thinking it was too melodramatic and too sad. But they would like refuse to play it live. If you look at the set list, it disappears very early because they were vocal about like we don't really want to touch that one.
Dude, just the tone. Like, can you imagine like playing fucking Runaway and then following it up with Hey, Run? Are you kidding me? Dude, no.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. For sure. That's a good one. My Are We Human or Are We Dancer is When They Come For Me. This is just okay, it's kind of like a conundrum, right? It's like a paradox that he's creating. This is Mike Shinoda rapping, right? I don't have a time, so I'm just going to read this out for you guys. I'm awfully underrated, but came here to correct it. And so it ain't mistaken, I'ma state it for the record. I am the opposite of whack, opposite of weak, opposite of slack, synonym of heat, synonym of crack, closest to a peak, far from a punk. So, what am I? It sounds like a riddle, you know? It sounds like a long-winded riddle.
A pillowcase,
Are
like
you,
some like
yeah, are
weird
you love? What are you?
Dude, there's definitely I can find solace knowing that, you know, all of this process really helped Mike Shinoda's mental health, dude.
Yeah.
There's a clear switch from where he goes from like, man, in the end it doesn't even matter to like, I'm the shit, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of features
Yeah.
on this album.
But he says, y'all ought to stop talking, start trying to catch up, motherfucker.
Yeah, okay. It's
And
that
that's
song.
like
Yeah.
it's like a meme in the Linkin Park community is that they think he's saying "try the catch up, motherfucker."
Oh my god.
And but it's like they like hound him at like signings about it specifically. But it's like, I guess like they're this little community. They have their own like safe ways to like poke fun at the band.
Right.
Whereas like this is Mike approved. Like you can say this and he won't like actually
Do
take
they-
offense to
Do
it.
they ever
Fuck,
raid his
bro.
streams with like the ketchup
Yes.
emoji? Do they really?
They bring Heinz ketchup shirts to like his signings
I
and
love
stuff.
it. I love it.
They love him.
Is at this point, is he like into it? Because he's a super
He's
nice
so
guy.
into it.
He's a
so
super
into
sweet
it.
dude.
That's the
Yeah.
thing is like I think there were times where I came in wanting to dislike Linkin Park more, but I was just like, and like these guys mean super well.
Yeah, they're all such good guys.
They mean well. It's like it doesn't even really feel like they're super in it for the money. The NFT thing is kind of wild, but like before that, it doesn't seem like they're super in it for the money.
Well, I mean, the NFT thing is kind of the same thing as the fan club songs, just like 2022 version.
It's
you know?
that, and it's also like they're trend hoppers, like
Yes.
at heart, and maybe that's just like another way that they express themselves, just through like, be like, hey, look what's new. Fuck it, let's try this new thing.
Yeah.
And they try it, and turns out he's like really wealthy off of it. So keep it rolling. I guess good for him. Damn. Okay, so that's all of our Are We Humans, right? Right. Okay, cool. So we're going next into Hidden Gem territory. This is your second favorite song, a song you discovered or rediscovered throughout your listen to this discography, and so your second favorite, number 2, basically. Sam, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My hidden gem is War. War. I had about like the 105 mark.
War is good for being your hidden gem. That's what we found out what it's good for. Face melter.
Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty badass. It's like a hardcore song. I think me and Don took a trip to Detroit recently. We were listening to all these together, and this is on, I forget which album.
The Hunting
Hunting
Party.
Party.
The Hunting
Yeah.
Party. All right, so that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. So it's in pretty bad territory.
Yeah.
And then this song pops up, and we're like, "Whoa, what the hell?" Like,
They do a couple of like punk songs.
There's a few
on that
shining
one.
lights
Yeah.
in that record.
I think the drums on that record sound amazing, and I guess they were like recorded like direct to tape, and everything else was like in the DAW, but the drums were to tape, and they just like the drumming is really good. Like that's a late
I like it too.
late era good record for me, because I'm like, if I don't like the songs, I was literally just like zoning out, just like listening to the drums, being like, whoever you are, who's the drummer, like, yeah, take me home.
It's good. No, I was also like surprised on how like back to form they were in a lot of the tracks, and also just kind of how like they went from being like new metal to like more like hardcore in some like verses, like especially in like War. Like it just seems like they were like trying a new version of being like hard. You know, like they're like, okay, let's be edgy, but like let's not do it the way we did it before.
Yeah, it's
which
definitely
is cool.
a different suit that they're wearing. You know, they definitely went punk for a second, because I feel like it's a different, like you're saying, different type of aggression.
Yeah, I think the Linkinpedia said Chester wrote that song, and he wrote it really fast, like in like 5 minutes or something.
That's usually
speed.
That's cool. That's a good song. I like that. Hunting Party has my cosign. What about you, Josh? You seem like you're ready to go. What's your hidden gem?
I have Bleed It Out. One, I forgot about this song and was just like, okay, this song's pretty good, because I feel like it's the last sort of early era Linkin Park doing Linkin Park that I like. You know? I know Don, he's shaking his head, but I don't have a timestamp. I'm on there.
I'm not going to yuck your yum.
Right.
I need to know, because something must have happened on this talk show where they performed.
It just doesn't hit for me, because it's like the jingling keys, the hand claps. To me, it's like the Rick Rubin production thing feels like such a cut off from the first two records.
I see that.
And the vocals aren't triple tracked. That's my thing. It's just like, it doesn't.
But I mean, everything else on the album, I feel like that's the closest I'm getting to like Hybrid Theory, Meteora, like the stuff that I came for lunch for.
Yeah,
right.
It was the first song I could recognize as Linkin Park that I would hear around.
Okay. All right,
It's
so
the
let's try
chicken in the Caesar salad.
Bleed it out.
I don't want that lettuce.
Even the croutons and the chicken.
Run myself out and no one cares. Dug the trench out, lay down there with a shovel up out of reach somewhere. Yeah, someone pour it in, make it a dirt dance floor again. Saying prayers and stomp it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. Go, stop the show, choppy words and a sloppy flow. Shotgun opera, lock and load, cock it back and then watch it go.
Oof. I'm bleeding for him.
Yeah, dude.
Take my blood.
You have to say, it's a lot of clapping. The clapping does not relent. They just turn it up and down throughout the song.
I'm waiting for him to throw a delay on it, dude. Double that clapping. Throw on the 16 note fucking clapping, dude. I will say there's a video of one of their songs off the last album where Mike Shinoda's like rapping in the music video and clapping along, and it is the corniest little thing, dude. He's just like
I found like a forum post from like that era where someone was like talking about like the because there was backlash for it, and so it was like, my brother keeps making fun of me because he keeps calling Minutes to Midnight the clapping record.
Oh man.
So I'm siding with the brother.
I mean, yeah, you can throw it away then, you know.
throw it away.
Yeah, he's gonna throw it away. Okay, my hidden gem is going to a song called Blackout. Yeah, Blackout off of 1,000 Suns. It's just like I think it's like a dancey side that, you know, like you don't hear much.
I'm stuck in this bed you made, alone with a sinking feeling. I saw through the words you said, to the secrets you've been keeping. It's written upon your face, all the lies that cut so deeply. You can't get enough, you take and take and take, you never say no. You gotta get it inside, you push it back down, you push it back down. No, you'll never get it inside, you push it back down, back out, red in your eye.
Yeah, like a different type of like scream, a different type of like approach that they didn't really like hit much. And when like I heard this song, I was like, oh, cool. Like maybe this is what they're gonna start doing now. Like maybe this is like their new approach. They didn't really do this much more.
Imagine someone mixing in that 4 on the floor beat and like knockdown center, smart bar,
Yes.
just really like the crowd going,
Exactly.
getting the nightlife crowd.
There's a whole thing too. I'm sorry. Go
The
ahead.
scream.
Yeah.
The scream, dude. Like, just so, like, cool for a dance setting. Like, you play that live and people recognize it. They can scream along with him. It's going to sound awful in the club, but, like,
Dude,
it'll
it'll
be
pop
fun.
off. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
People are coming home with, like, hoarse, like, sore throats because they're, like, screaming too hard, Like,
Yeah.
that's what I like about it. It's such a weird, like, one-off type of, like, vibe that they went with in their whole discography. I kind of wish they went and like, leaned into this a little bit more,
This song too is a good example of something I see along the entire Linkin Park discography, is that Chester never takes a breath. He like all throughout this screaming, I feel like he just probably does a million takes and he wants it to sound really fluid with the song, so he doesn't have to take those breaths in. You don't want to be a muse and like just like not even turn your head when you take a breather, But like, dude, I can't remember the song that I was thinking of it, but he does not take a breath. He's just screaming the entire time.
He's a pro. He's a professional.
They talk about like the whole band would like come for when he was recording vocals, and like if his scream wasn't long enough, they would just be like longer. Like that's one song on Minute to Minute that has the super long scream because the band kept saying like longer, and he screams forever. Like he's a team player.
Yeah.
But it's like that's a level of like band chemistry that I think like aspire to be able to say like, like you're shredding your voice longer.
Yeah.
More. Give me more.
Jesus.
Don Whiplash Lion.
Yeah, Sam.
Not quite my tempo.
Yeah.
Doug Sam, no! Like an NPC just coming at him.
All right, so we got a couple more hidden gems on the way. Don, are you next?
Yeah.
What's your hidden gem?
Mine is the new metal version of Heavy. So this is a song from the last record. Like play it with like 45 seconds left, maybe. Like
Okay.
let it play. There's some deep only on like Lincoln Head YouTube.
Right. This is a
This was originally posted directly to like Twitter or something.
live rehearsal. No,
Live
yeah.
rehearsal.
Okay, here we go.
And at the end of the video, he's like, yeah, fuck you. Here's your fucking Hybrid Theory fans. It's like, but it's like, that is the glimpse where it's like, I remember hearing that song on the last record and being like, oh, like, I kind of like that melody. But like, again, if they went full tilt back to that sound with that, I think that song would have gone hard, like mega track guitar. So like, I found that as just like a curio, and I like found myself like kind of going back to it because I was like, yeah, I like, it's that little like, I mean, we talk about like lost albums. There's this like suggestion of like Linkin Park back to the roots.
Right. If One More Light was like a new metal record,
It
what
would've been good,
What could they have done with their songs?
But I feel like that you saying that he was like, here's your fucking thing is just more evident that like he wasn't wanting to do that.
He didn't want to.
And to
Yeah.
know that he wasn't screaming like until Linkin Park, and he's got a good voice, so it just I think he was ready to move on.
I think also there's like suggestions I've read like physically he just wasn't trying to scream like that because he's getting old.
Yeah.
But I think there's a level, and I think like we can criticize people, and I think like there's a level of like arrogance that comes from that too, where it's like we had these albums that like went really hard when we first came, and like people haven't really paid attention to the same thing. We're losing Don with Bleed It Out, stuff like that. And I think
arguably,
they lost
They lost him.
Point being, I think there is a level of like arrogance that is like we want to distance ourselves from that sound as much as possible because we want to get a new win that feels like inherent to us. But it's also like, but you're good at that, and maybe like give the people what they want.
maybe the fans liked you for your sound, and you could do more of the sound that you're good at, and they'll like you again. Like, it's
Yeah.
If
kind
he
of
had
what they
just,
want. You know?
maybe he could have thrown some effects, thrown some pedals on his voice, and pitch it up a little bit,
Right.
make it noisy and aggressive without having to go that route. Who
Yeah.
knows? Yeah.
I mean, alternate universe, dude. We could fix this band,
And
we could go back and fix this band and tell them, hey, go more new metal, please.
yeah, and like Chester, the fans were not super into it, and they would be like popping off at him on Twitter, and like Chester, you know, in a dark place, but would like get on Twitter and be like, "Fuck you!" Like he would like respond to it and get like a little bit nasty. So it's like,
Damn.
again, there is, I think, cognitive dissonance that they were struggling with that last record going the direction they did. But I'm just like, what if you would have given in?
Yeah. It would have been so much better.
He did
Sad.
seem really happy in those music videos. He was dancing hard.
True. Okay, next we have the Kurt Cobain Repeat Offender Award. This is the award that goes out to a song that repeats something ad nauseum, just way too many times for you to feel comfortable. It can be a song that's good, like that, you know, like you like, but just like, you know, somebody just repeats too many times. It could be a riff that gets repeated too many times. So, who wants to go first?
Why don't you go first,
I'll
Joe?
go first. I'm going first this time. Okay. The Little Things Give You Away. I mean, this is a skippable song, just in the sense that it's like 6.5 minutes long. And so, like, just to attest to that, my repeating offender award starts at 4:56. So it gets this far deep into the song, and then the last like minute and a half is just repeated over and over again. The little things give you away. I think Shinoda's saying that in the background, and then like Chester's saying something in the foreground that's also repeated. Just lazy, and like I'm sure it's grandiose and like you know, we made a cool song, but like 6 minutes, like Jesus fucking Christ. Here we go.
Gio hates long songs.
One more minute of that, guys.
How did you not get U2 from this song? over that.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's bar for bar.
I'm waiting
It
for it to
stole
kick in.
his fucking flow. Okay, it stole Bono's flow.
That was the most Bono flow Chester's ever done right there. With or without you.
That song's about Hurricane Katrina, which is like a thing that I forget with that Thousand Suns album, is that it's very like anti-Bush. That's like a big part of it in a way that's like, I think, an interesting type of like innocence for us to like remember when like Bush was really bad, and like there was a different type of like oppositional thing than like what we do with like Trump, which is such a different stylistic thing. But like looking at this, maybe like listen to like Rock Against Bush and stuff like that, and be like, oh, like that was a whole different like political reality
That we didn't have exposure to and like
We
opinions
were just
on.
too young to like.
or just too young to like, I think, participate in the way where we do now, that like we're used to like talking about like oppositional politicians in a different way than this sort of like, I think we're more direct now with our critique than doing
Right.
a song like The Little Things. Like it's so indirect where now we have to be
Right.
like,
I mean, there was a
yo,
song
like-
called "Fuck Donald Trump."
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
It's
dude.
huge.
and some people are doing
Shout
that, but
out
for the
YG.
most part it was this like obscured thing. Like it was a breach of public etiquette, I guess, still
Yeah.
at this point in American culture.
Totally. And yeah, it's such a small, like, the little things give you away. Just, it's like, it's so like, hey, we're just saying, you know, like we're not trying to make a stance here, but like it's just little things give you. It's just like it's not really a big political statement they're making. They're just kind of like critiquing from the sidelines here, and just like a shitty song, just kind of a shitty song.
Yeah.
Also just bottom line.
Just a bad song, bad message, too long, too boring, too repetitive. Okay, so that's my Kurt Cobain Repeat Offender Award. What about you, Don?
Mine would be Robot Boy.
Robot Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is just the same thing over and over again. And but this is like a fan favorite.
Why?
They're obsessed with it. Play it.
You say you're not gonna fight, 'cause no one will fight for you. And you think there's not enough love and no one to give it to.
Like if you listen to that and you just focus on the piano riff, it will drive you mad because it
Dude, I
is
was just about to say.
full velocity. Yeah,
Dude, yeah, it's rough, and I feel like I'm getting some like NSYNC in there. You know, I'm
Yeah.
getting some Backstreet vibes. It's so weird.
This is of its era, of its time, that like, you know, stomp and clap kind of music. Like it's anthem rock type of shit. And like I'm sure, like, you know, shout out to our last guest Ryan Wong when he kind of was talking about Led Zeppelin performing like Stairway to Heaven, where it's like you want a song to perform to an audience that big, where they could clap with you, where they could sing along with you. And that's like, I guess to your point, Don, like maybe that's why it's a fan favorite, because like it's, you know, like you're in a crowd full of like a couple thousand people or something, and they're all clapping and stomping and singing this song. Like I could feel that like being a unifying moment, you know? But like as an objective listener, like just listening to this song twice in a row, like, yeah, you'd feel like you want to break your phone. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, what the hell, dude? Like, it's 4.5 minutes too. So it's like,
But I like you're saying, I could see imagining going to like Linkin Park Church and having this play. Like,
Yes.
dude, I'm feeling the spirit right there.
there's a little
1,000
Christian
spirits.
vibe. Yeah, there's some Christian vibes like near the end that just kind of like, I don't know if it's really Christian, but like they just sound like they were in a Christian band, or like maybe they got a Christian producer or something, you know?
He's like, guys, I don't know about all this. It's too angry.
Rick Rubin was a snake handler, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my Kurt Cobain Repeat Offender Award.
Oh,
That's your Repeat Offender Award. What about your Repeat Offender Award, Josh?
I'll go. In My Remains. I'm willing to admit there's more egregious offenders out here, but man, I could not freaking stand this from 156 In My Remains.
Like an army falling one by one by one. Like an army falling one by one by one. Like an army falling one by one by one. Like an army falling one by one by one.
Dude, it's just
That's
so
rough.
punishing. It's
Yeah.
so rough. It almost gives me it doesn't sound like it, but just I think because Army, it reminds me of the Killers. I got soul, but I'm not a soldier, and that's equally as like painful. So man, no.
That's disagree. Hard disagree.
My-
That's a profound line. Profound.
Which one? The soul?
I got soul, but I'm
The
not a
soul?
soldier. Profound.
When we move to these later songs, like my brain just does a different thing when we play it. Like my brain doesn't pay attention.
I don't
Yeah.
absorb it
Yeah.
either.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like-
it's hard.
It's. I think it has a lot to do with the production.
Yes.
You know, like it just sounds so flat a lot of times, and like it's electric, but like I don't know, it's too modern. Like you said, like with your favorite part of like the hunting party is like the drums, right? It's just
Yeah.
like the drums are recorded on tape. That's the most real sounding thing. I think a lot of their later albums just don't have like any like air space in them, and so it just doesn't feel like there's like movement, you know? Like it's like you're sitting there and just listening, and it just kind of like floats over you, and you're like, okay, like cool, I guess, but like there's no impact.
I mean, I think they definitely were trying to like go in a pop direction, and I think they made themselves too digestible. You
Yes.
know, it just
Yeah.
it like you said,
Yeah.
it goes right through you. You know, it's like
Yes.
a song prune.
It's diuretic. All right, so Sam, what is your
I
Kurt
picked,
Cobain?
I picked a Bleed It Out.
When they bring that chorus in, I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away.
Good old Mike coming
You
with his
might,
raps.
yeah. And so you don't repeat a ton compared to any of the other songs we just heard, but just it repeats so much in my head after I hear that song because it's like
Yes.
it's like infectious to a fault, I think, and like the lyrics themselves are like intense.
That
So it's
brain
like
worm.
I just want to stop hearing this. You know?
Get it out.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I was
That song fucking sucks.
I was okay. I was
Still my hidden gem.
I was clapping as a bit, like away from the mic to not be too loud, and I stopped clapping. And I realized the clapping in the song was even louder.
Exactly. So high in the mix.
I was
dude.
trying to be respectful of the audio quality of the pod, but the claps baked in were louder.
Exactly. Well, they know, like, I think, like, to Josh's point, they were just trying to, like, lean into that, like, pop, fun, not what we wanted, not what anybody wanted, but, like, what they wanted. And I think there's even, like, a line, I forget what, I think, like, Mike Shinoda says at one point where he's like, you know, you make a couple good albums and everyone wants the same shit all over again. Like, I think he says something like some kind of complaining-ass line in one of his songs. And, like, I get that was their sentiment on their previous material, but like,
I mean, Gio,
it's tough, man.
Gio, we've had this discussion like even years before the pod was created. Is that like I feel like a project should be a specific sound and a specific, you know, sort of idea and aesthetic, and I feel like when bands sort of branch out rather than creating a separate side project or a completely new thing, it just has a lot of space for the fans to turn.
Yeah.
But what if this was just like Chester and Mr. Han and, you know, a couple of them, and they made these albums, you know? But I don't know.
right, and didn't call it Linkin Park.
Didn't call it Linkin Park.
Yes.
You know? Linked in Park.
Well, like that was honestly my take about the last record that I was saying is like if the last record was Chester Bennington's solo album, I would be like no issue.
Totally.
Like cool.
Yeah.
Go off.
Yeah.
But I want to say so like my all-time favorite band, like how I realized you can just listen to every demo that the band ever did and track down every bootleg is like I'm an obsessive Beach Boys fan. And that's a band where their sound goes a million different directions, for the better, for the worse, but like I still rock with them through it because it doesn't ever get that point where it feels like syrupy or it feels like they're trying to be evasive of something. Like they still get this key thing of like the harmonies are ever present through all that. And if there's
they don't
they
run
did
away
that-
from themselves.
they don't run away from themselves.
If we played like a demo that you had never heard, you'd still be like, "Oh, okay, that's totally Beach Boys."
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
But like Linkin Park, again, like past guest / my girlfriend Sarah was like, "Is this seriously Linkin Park? Like, is this the
Yeah.
person?" You know. So
Real quick, Mike Love, yes or no, Don? You a Mike Love fan? You big Beach Boys fan? You gotta
Off mic, there are some Mike Love solo demos that like there are like fan theories like the producer didn't even like Mike Love, so he like shifted the song he shifted the backing track into a different key before they released it, and Mike Love was just so up his own ass he was like, "Yep, sounds good." Yeah, I'm not
Not on the mic train.
not on the mic train.
Not on the mic train. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for the record, we don't want anybody to get the idea that you're a Mike head and not a Brian Wilson fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I'm a Brian head. I'm
We
even
hate
an Al
love over here.
Jardine fan.
Okay. Hell yeah. All right. So we have run the gamut. We are near the final here. We're the last stretch, and this is the most skippable song that you found throughout the entire discography of
a big
Linkin
one.
Park. This is a big one.
This is it. Put the timestamp here.
Skip to this moment.
This is what everyone's here for.
The song that we choose, and it could be different songs. We all have individual opinions, but we're gonna be sending these to fucking Mars.
Yeah, we have a personal contract with Tesla. And they were sending brand new ships of just our songs over there. So
I had to pay a hefty premium.
yeah,
The life of my
we still got
ancestors,
the homie
my
discount.
children. Yeah,
Elon.
sold all my kids into slavery. Future slavery.
When they're born, they can
Yeah,
go to
when
the
they're
Emerald
born,
Mine.
Yeah.
they're gonna be mining the rock on Mars, along with the skippable songs.
Saves me a lot of money.
Yeah. So imagine the songs we're sending. They're going to be lullabies for my future children.
Dude, fuck these songs. I can guarantee all of us, I don't know them yet, but they're all terrible.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
man, Linkin Park is like bad music.
Yeah.
It's like the room of music, dude.
I
It's
wouldn't
so
wish this on
bad.
my worst enemy.
For the first half of this pod, I was like cracking up because it's like, for the way we talk about the first two albums, you would like think that we were Linkin Park fans, but it's truly like when the other shoe drops, it drops so hard, and it's like I would honestly say I'm down on Linkin Park because the bad outweighs the good, and the bad gets bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Weezer parallel, dude.
Yeah, and we only did like 6 Weezer albums, and
Because
there's
they
like,
have like
there's so many
28,
terrible ones.
you know, fuck that. We can't do that. We're
Yeah.
never going back.
There's a new EP, Autumn EP, Seasons just came out. I'm tempted to, just because I'm a fucking masochist, I might listen to that afterwards. But what is our most skippable songs? I guess we will. Me and Josh will go first.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
have
go
you
first.
two go last, just to make it a little more dramatic and. Egos. Me and Josh have big egos. We like going first.
I'm gonna go first. That
Okay.
being said, okay.
Josh, yeah, go ahead.
Guys, this is kind of a gimme. I feel like we're all gonna like groan when I say this. Nobody can save me.
Yeah.
Nobody can save me is so bad. And I was realizing that like the lyric, like the song, what it's all about and all the lyrics are still consistently really depressing and like a cry for help all the way through. But I'm just like, how is this like the shittiest pop song I've ever heard? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I think he can lay it on too thick.
I'm holding up a light, chasing up the darkness inside, 'cause nobody can save me. Stared into this illusion. Full answers yet to come.
dude, it's and like a lot of the stuff on this album is like extremely haunting. Shortly after that, he says, "I chose a false solution." We don't have to go down this rabbit hole, but just the whole concept of him really putting this to this music is just wild to me. I gotta skip it.
Yeah.
I'm skipping it.
So my most skippable is an instrumental, and it's a song called Drawbar featuring Tom Morello. This song, like, I saw it was featuring Tom Morello, and I was like, oh, cool, like, maybe there's gonna be some cool guitar or something, you know. No, it's just boring. It's just a boring 2.5-minute song. Fucking pointless on the album, makes no sense. And the fact that it's featuring another guitarist and there's no personality to the guitar at all, like, it just confuses me. I'm just very confused.
And Tom Morello famously only uses a select few pedals the entirety of his whole musical career, you know? So he got in.
ass guitar, fool. Directly into the DAW.
Yeah, he kept turning the volume up and down on the Big Muff. You know, it's just like, oh, I thought we were jamming, guys.
Yeah, they gave him 0 to do. So check out, or don't check out, Drawbar featuring Tom Morello. Here we go. I swear the piano has more to do in that song than Tom Morello.
I wasn't hearing a guitar really at all.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Hunting Party is like a good record for the most part, and then like this song just like should have been cut just straight. And maybe just because Tom Morello was in the studio that day, they're like, we can't cut it. Like, it's featuring Tom Morello, but like, bro, he didn't even do anything, dude. Like, didn't even like actually record him. I'm sure he was like actually recording something really good, and they just forgot to hit record.
I forgot my guitar, guys.
It would be so fucking funny if he was playing drums for that song. Like,
Exactly.
don't we feel like assholes?
Yeah.
He comes in, oh! Just like singing.
I learned piano for the song.
Well, they had another song featuring the System of a Down guy too, right? Darren Malakian, and does he sing in that one too, or does he
Does
only
he
play
talk in
guitar?
that one?
I don't know. He sings sometimes in System of a Down,
Yeah.
but I don't remember him singing on the Linkin Park one
What
either.
am I talking?
Maybe talking, yeah.
I mean, they have like a Pusha T feature right? And like a Stormzy or something. It was like
like Kiara, who I
Yeah.
didn't know.
no idea who that.
Because I was like, oh,
was.
Sierra,
Sorry. Yeah.
Party Party. I was
Typo.
like, yeah. Sam saw my eyebrows go up and then fall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our most skippable. What about you, Sam? What is your
Okay.
most skippable song?
So I picked Sharp Edges.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Also off of One More Light.
Yeah. I don't have a timestamp, but pretty much.
Drop the needle.
Let's
Yeah,
skip the
point,
part where he
yeah.
talks about his mama or something. There you go.
Told me don't you run with scissors, son. You're gonna hurt someone. Mama told me look before you leap. Always think before you speak. And watch the friend you keep. Stay along the beaten path. Never listened when she said sharp edges have consequences. I guess that I had to find out for myself. Sharp edges have.
Do you guys think he thought before he was like, "Shut up when I'm talking to you"?
Yeah.
I don't think he was listening. He was thinking before he said that to his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like a hey there, Delilah.
I
like,
know.
It's so rough, man.
and it's the last song in the last album. And
Exactly.
It's like this really contrived acoustic song that was never hinted at before. I feel like.
Yeah,
makes
I
no
don't know.
sense.
Yeah, it seemed like it was trying to be a hit. Really, like that seemed one I was like trying to get on the radio a lot.
a lot of the last
And
albums.
Some
Yeah.
major like Lumiere shit going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Which
when
like
we were-
wasn't popular in 2017 anymore.
No. When we were like listening to that one in the car, we were even like doing like Mike and Chester ad libs like in the Hybrid Theory style over it, like sharp edges, don't know why. My sharp edges, and it made the songs better.
It is.
Yeah.
Should,
Yeah.
should we throw that back on here?
Dude, yeah.
Let's test the theory. Let's
Here we
throw
go.
the sharp
I'll
edges
put it
on.
half level. Here we go. Let's do a little ad libs.
Sharp edges, don't know why.
Should've played it safe from the start.
Rap and hip hop.
Love like a house
My edges.
things I couldn't understand.
Oh,
See, that was sick. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Damn. Throw the
Wow.
remix in there, dude.
Sharp edges.
That was
bad
on us,
song.
Shinoda.
yeah.
Fuck. All right,
NFT
Don.
it, minted, bro.
How's that for an NFT? Huh?
Don, what is your most skippable song?
So like I didn't want to do something off the last record because I was just like we're going to go, but like the one that doesn't sit well with me is off Minutes to Midnight, Hands Held High. I just find infuriating. The chorus is like amen. It's so much like it's the most Christian rap sounding one by far. It's just like from the beginning, like this is the one where it's like I would be like in the shower, I'd be like driving around and like I would remember it and just like it made me mad in a way that maybe in the way that like the later one doesn't really, because this is like the point where you're like, oh, things are going wrong. Like this is the point in
This is
like
the crisis point.
this is when the roller coaster drops and you feel like your stomach go up to your
Yes.
chest. This is that for
Yes. Okay. So, anytime or
me.
sorry.
Dude, from the beginning, like
we go.
you get scared.
There, here we go.
Like when these drums come in.
Turn my mic up louder, I got to say something. Lightweight, step it aside when we come in. Feel it in your chest, the syllables get pumping. People on the street that panic and start running. Words on loose leaf sheet, complete coming. I jump on my mind, I summon the rhyme, I'm dumping. Feeling blind, I promise to let the sun in. Sick of the dark ways, we march to the drumming.
Man, he was listening to too much fucking Black Eyed Peas, dude.
Yeah.
But where is the love? That's all I'm asking. Where is the love in that song?
Oh my God. Let's get to a little part in the middle of that just to see where it goes.
In the living room laughing like, what did he say?
amen. I don't know why.
Friggin' true though. I have no idea why.
Yeah,
like
and-
where's that come from?
That thing, it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Linkin Park.
Yeah.
But it is canonical third album Linkin Park.
That's so stupid. That's such a bad song. I'll flat out say it. These are all skippable songs. None of these pass the muster. None of these are going to make it safely out of this atmosphere. They're all going to crash on Mars. Okay, they're going straight. I mean, let's send them to hell, dude. Send them to hell.
Damn, burn them.
Burn them.
That's the only way that you could like fully like get rid of those MP3s.
The thing about it is
burn them.
the first two albums are so good that these songs are just like spitting in the face of everything that was good about Linkin Park. Yeah. And so let's get to the last question, because this pertains to what we've been talking about. Is Linkin Park as a whole skippable?
Oof.
Now I'll go first.
Yeah, you're already on one.
Yeah, dude. Of course they are. Of course they are. 2 albums, worth it. So good. Listen to the first 2 albums, right? But as on a seesaw, right? The bad outweighs the good. Like, just flat out, you can't get around the last album, the last 3 albums. Just like not that great, forgettable to like the nth degree a lot of times, and disappointing at like to the level where you're like I don't even know if I like you, like, you know, I don't fuck with you anymore. Like, if you're so ashamed of what you were good at, why should I like it? Like, if you don't like it, you know?
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm right there with you, but I gotta keep them. I gotta keep those first 2. I have like a heavy stipulation on this. You know, if I saw that seesaw, I'd be like, hey, that doesn't look very fun. I'm gonna jump on the back of that one.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get 1 or 2 rounds on this seesaw right here before I give up, because there's a lot to keep up with.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard to see the entire band, you know, from like the beginning to end, and even say that it's the same band. Like, it's not, which is sad. Okay, so
big time.
Yeah.
For you too, Sam.
I'm going they are skippable. You can skip them. This is the kind of music I liked a lot when I was younger. And for the most part, I did skip them because there's other bands that did this kind of sound in a way that I thought was more, maybe my child mind, more sincere and a little bit better in every way, shape, and form. That sums up my
Well said.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Skip them.
Yeah.
But like, who? Name names.
Limp Bizkit.
Dude.
Limp Bizkit's sick, and like, I think, like, sincerely, I think the way like Fred Durst performed, like, he could sing, scream, and rap all in one, which is cool. Wes Borland's like actually a really cool guitarist.
He's the guy that paints his face, right? He's like
he looks like a clown.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's badass.
He's cool. Yeah.
I mean, the Fred Durst version of Behind Blue Eyes is better.
it's
it's better than Lincoln going for any of that.
Yeah.
That's true.
And there's range involved with Limp Bizkit where it was always Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
You know,
and like, didn't Limp Bizkit come back with like a song that's like a throwback to their like 90s sound too? So like, even like in their like their later years, they're still kind of doing what the fans want them to do, and they're leaning into like the nostalgia, which is like what everybody wanted Linkin Park to do in the first place.
Right. And I'm sure they went on to make really crappy music too that didn't hold up, but like they knew enough to do that, and like, I don't know, and like the cool Limp Bizkit songs I like more than the cool Linkin Park songs ultimately.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. I have to wait for that episode of Skip.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me in
dude.
for it, please. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, what about you, Don? Skippable?
I mean,
Not skippable.
Linkin Park, what I think something we lose track of, it's easy to when you do the thing, is like Hybrid Theory, Meteor. This was almost the biggest band in the world at the time. They were coming up, the production, like, as much as like I think the Mr. Han stuff is like funny or whatever, it's like, it is cool. Like, I keep it. I honestly keep it. I think that like the hits are worth it. And I think that the fact that it's like, it was music that was like produced in a way that I think probably influenced us when we were younger more than we even give it credit for. And I think it did expand the sonic palette, and I think it was like, you know, the lyrics are like melodramatic, but they're melodramatic in a way that fucking rocks, and it was like really vulnerable in a way where it's like, you know, I think ultimately, like, I do see the perspective of like the Linkin Park freaks on Reddit who are just like so obsessed for it, because it's like, yeah, this shit means a lot to me. Like, I fuck with like Robot Boy because it gives me a chance to participate. Like, I get that, and I think like it's hard for me to have like, I don't know, logged on every day and like seen so much about it and not be like, this is a force for good. This is a force for good. Right. This is a good deed. And it's also, you know, I don't know, like, again, even listening to all the like fan club stuff, it's like there's a point where they just like don't give a shit, and they're just like releasing just like demos that sound like the like iMovie backing tracks, and it's still just like it's still just like, yeah, go for it. I don't like Linkin Park really, right, ultimately, but I keep it. I keep it for the net good.
Skip? Wow,
I see that. Okay, for the coffee shop, 3 blocks from your place, it wouldn't be open were it not for Linkin Park. So in a way, it really affects your real world, your actual life.
Yes.
So that way you can't skip it, because your whole life would change.
Yeah. Get that Morning Joe. Yeah.
They would have to charge even more than $6 for a song.
With a free therapy?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a complex like thing with this band, because they are so good when they started. Like, and it's just like, when do you stop for your own sake? You know, like, when do you stop for the sake of your fans? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if you can know if you're the artist, you know?
And the construction of Meteora is like really interesting, because like they spent like 7 years putting together Hybrid 3. Hybrid 3 is almost essentially like the greatest hits of like all their individual bands before Linkin Park. And then in the span of like 2 years, they pull up this follow-up that's like, in my opinion, better, super worthy, super crafted, like well produced, meaningful. It's like, that's fucking cool to me. That's always going to be cool to me, even if it's not like the music after this, having listened to so much Linkin Park, like, I'm putting it down for a while. But break, yeah. I feel like I grew from it, and I think it's a good thing.
That's good.
And I feel like, back to your point about Meteora being like more crafted, I feel like from the success of Hybrid Theory, they were able to take that sort of energy and continue bridging the gap with like hip hop and pop and rap and like new metal and stuff. Whereas in the later albums, there's no mending. It's just shitty pop music. There's no like cool solo. I mean, Hunting what is it? Hunting Party. Yeah, Hunting Party is the exception, but like, I would trade Hunting Party for 3 songs on every album to sound like old school Linkin Park, you know?
Yeah.
3, even 2, you know, even 2 just really hit me with the Bleed It Out.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of Bleed It Out on every album.
God. More clapping, please.
I forgot also that like Bleed It Out was on like a Guitar Hero game, which is crazy because the guitar part is just like, the fuck.
That's fucking hero, man. I mean, there goes my hero.
It is a cultural thing, like you said, Don. Like, they were huge. It's if you have a teenager in your house, show them like early Linkin Park. They might need this.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah,
for sure. This is for kids. If you're older, you got some feelings too, maybe listen to this too. I don't know. But yeah, I would say it's complicated. Just, my relationship with them is very complicated. But thank you guys so much for bringing them to us.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah. I felt like you were saying, I felt like ever since we started the pod, this was one of the bands I was like, okay, we got to cover Linkin Park.
I've been waiting. Yeah,
Next
I've been waiting
is
for this.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, we got to get Billy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a big mountain to climb.
I've been wanting to
man.
do Madonna, and the guys are scared. The guys are scared to tackle Madonna.
Because there's good, but there's a lot of bad.
And a lot just in general.
And there's a lot.
18 albums. But anyways, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being a part of this.
It's so fun.
All the way on tour. Check out Monogamy, not skippable.
Yeah, where can people find you guys online?
Well, I would say if you're a Linkin Park fan and you've been upset by the things I've said about Linkin Park and made fun of your favorite song, Robot Boy, we're on Bandcamp, monogamy.bandcamp.com. I think we're like monogamy.us, but monogamy.bandcamp.com. If you buy a hat, I ship them directly. with my address on it. So buy a hat and then get my address and kill me.
Yeah, the docs is worth the money. You know, we need it.
You hear that? Buy the hats, kill the man.
Yeah, we have a new
Call it the Monogamy Challenge.
Go directly from one chip challenge to the Monogamy challenge.
Beside hats, we have a record that has 2 songs. I think it's good.
Fuck yeah, check it out, everybody. Not skippable. And thank you guys so much for coming over.
Thank you.
Driving over here. It's so nice for you to actually be in studio. That's really cool of you guys.
Yeah, it's always great having actual people in stu.
Yeah. Dude. Well, thanks again, everybody. And for the world out there, don't let the world skip you by.
Bye-bye.
Bye.